What's going on, everybody? It's Chris Classic dropping the car vlog on the way. Just got off work. Got the Corey Kenshin merch. This old school stuff. Y'all know about that. God bless you guys through trials and tribulations, through everything, and also just want to say, God answers prayers, and sometimes He does say no. That's the truth. Sometimes we're not ready for something, or sometimes God has a better plan, or He has better provision on the things that we want Him to fix. So always remember that. God bless you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also subscribe to the C3 Ultimate Wrestling channel, where we're doing wrestling and we got our promos and we got our show Press Start 2, Crown Point, Indiana, January 21st, this month, about 2 weeks away. I wanted to talk about FTR, Forever the Revival, After Revival, The Revival, the Mechanics. They had a mechanic gimmick when they were in NXT and stuff like that. So I wanted to talk about them a little bit. 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? I don't know exactly. I guess yesterday, because Japan is a different time than us. They lost their last belt, the tag titles in New Japan, and now they're beltless. And I wanted to talk about their run, I guess, in AEW and in NXT, and then everything else that's in between. These guys are the top team right now out, in my opinion. There's some solid teams. If you want to say the Usos, that's cool. You want to say the New Day, that's cool. If you want to say somebody on Independence or whatever, that's cool. The Bucks, you want to say that, Lucha Bros, if you want to say that, that's up to you. You know what I'm saying? That's totally fine. But to me, I think one of the tag teams have put in a whole bunch of work in more than one places, and is trying to keep the fundamental basis of professional wrestling is FTR. They do indulge in some of the new ways that people want to do wrestling, where psychology is like gone and missing and stuff like that, and the suspense is always there. But they are the top to me. And to me, a lot of people say that, obviously, like WWE, NXT, they dropped the ball on them despite them being champions and stuff like that. You can drop the ball on somebody even though they're a champion. It doesn't matter and stuff like that. So, a lot of people are like, oh, they go to AEW, they're going to feud with the Bucks because, they always had like a Twitter beef about it and stuff like that. And the Revival thing, the thing got real big. So there's like, oh, they're going against the Bucks. Oh, it's going to be match of the year and stuff like that. And from what I've seen, both matches were pretty good. A lot of people were like, okay. And my thing was, in my mind, before FTR even signed to AEW, I was like, yeah, they're just bringing them so the Bucks can beat them. And the Bucks beat them the first time, and I believe they won the second time. Then they were teasing that they were going to do a second time, and what would have been dope if FTR went over. FTR was going everywhere, winning a lot of tag titles and everything like that, and then it didn't happen. Then it went to the Bucks, the tag team. They wanted to be 6-man with their homie Kenny Omega. And a lot of people call the company Our Friends Wrestling for a reason. So instead of having that great of a match, we didn't get that. We got Swerve in the Glory. Swerve and Keith Lee being the tag champs basically out of nowhere. And it's like, I don't mind people that didn't start off as tags to be champs, but I just felt like this one was just like a slap in the face to even like Ricky Starks and Will Hobbs for what they were doing in Team Taz, and they were pretty good, and they were solid as a tag team. Good for them guys winning it and stuff like that. I did feel like it was more of a checkbox approach because a lot of people were saying that AEW doesn't have a lot of black champions outside of Scorpio Sky, who was a multi-time TNT champion. Get well soon. But other than that, I do think that was just a crazy moment. Also, the Hardys were rumored to win it as well, but then Jeff, unfortunately, got in trouble with the law. So we didn't get that. So then we see during this time, FTR, they're winning belts. They're winning championships. They're winning titles. They're doing things. They won our ROH tag titles against the Briscoes. The Briscoes, really can't be on AEW television because of what they said in the past. They won the IWGP titles at Forbidden Door. Then during this process, I think the whole time they won the AAA titles, tag team titles and stuff like that. So you were looking at these guys and we're like, gosh, to me, I'm looking at these guys and I'm like, they're going to win the AEW tag titles. Like, to me, it does not make sense to have these guys just parade these titles and then they don't have the ultimate title. And when I say the ultimate title, I mean the one that you're on. You're on the AEW. And I'm not saying AEW is better than all of these companies. These companies have been around for years, but you guys know exactly what I mean when I say that. You know, what value do those belts have on an AEW product if you already have another pair of AEW tag champions and stuff like that? But then I do feel like they still got the short end of the stick. A lot of us saw how great these guys was as single workers, especially Dax, as a tag champion, a triple tag champion, losing to people, losing consistently, losing. And then it's just like, man, like, you give them something. And it's like, I don't like being right about certain things, but this is what it was. They were just there to be used. They were just there so the Bucks can get a win on them, and then instead of the Bucks giving them a rubber match that people were waiting on, because the people, I remember talking about it, people like, oh, they're going to have one, they're not having one, they may have one, but it's too late. To me, the steam is gone. Like, to me, it's just not there, and it's just because somebody is a champ and things like that. You know, AEW didn't make them seem like it, and AEW is not really, is at fault, but not at fault. You know, if you are the company, right, you're going to treat your belts better than everybody else's belts and stuff like that. But man, that was a piss poor way to do it. I think the best thing they should have did to make one of the most decorated tag teams more decorated like a Christmas tree was to give them the belts. You know, Swerve and the Glory, they could have lost to him and stuff like that. You know, they could have dropped it to the Acclaim. I was fine with that. We've been wanting the Acclaim to win the titles or whatever like that. But for a smidget of time, they should have had all 4 titles. You know, these guys are great workers. They're great wrestlers and stuff like that. And now that they're beltless, it's just like, who knows what they're going to do. You know, they lost the ROH belts to the Briscoes. Great matches from what I hear. They lost to the other teams and other promotions and stuff like that. So now what is it? You know, a lot of people are under the assumption that they're going to go to WWE now. And I'm like, okay, well, if they go to WWE, they got to get in the line to see what's going on, you know. Triple H brought back all of these people, and now it's just like a cluster. Okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to feature? What's going to happen? Oh, this person is sloppy in the ring. This person isn't doing great. This doesn't look like it's going too good. And I do feel like at this time, if they do go to WWE, it is not a good thing for them. You know, if they choose to do that, that's on them. God bless them and stuff like that for their job and everything like that, job security and all of that. Cool and fine and dandy. It'd be cool to see them on TV because they know how to wrestle and they know how to work. But at the same time, if you look at the stuff, like, where's Karrion Kross at? Where's, like, all of these people? And I said this in my video about Triple H is going to do some things that people do not like, which did very good. Check that out if you have not. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of food on the plate. And some people it's going to be table scraps, and some people just going to be on the plate to rot. It's just the thing. Hey, I'm sick of this person. Or what is this person doing? Or push this person and push that person, you know? I can't say I know exactly how I would have pushed these guys or brought these guys back, but these guys came back like so quick, back to back. And then, what's his name just came back? Bronson Reed? I don't know if they calling him that, but he was Jonah on the independent scene. And then he's also the lackey of The Miz. And Tommaso Ciampa was just the lackey of The Miz. And, you know, when in doubt, if they don't have nothing to do with you, they're going to make you the Miz's lackey, regardless of who you are and where you came from, unfortunately. And it's true. But going back into it, you know, as long as they're having fun, let me peel that back first. As long as they're having fun, know what they're doing and stuff like that, that's fine. But it's just like, man, when you love, I don't want to say love, but when you like and appreciate what people do, you want to see them do it more. It was dope to see these guys do singles action and Dax work as a singles competitor that had an old school feel with the jackets, with the songs, and even the managers and stuff like that. It was dope to see all of that stuff, but we knew that they were going to lose because of how AEW has done that. And I think a lot of people like to think about, oh, well, if you get a push by a championship, you're going to be treated right. And I'm like, no, that is not true. You can still be treated like crap and having belts and stuff like that. I do think they should have had a good show to where they finally did, well, not finally, they won the AEW titles before, but I do think they would have had a great thing to have 4 titles all together, going places with the belts and stuff like that. You know, a lot of you guys, some know and some don't know how much like AEW has pulled, or even WWE has pulled, to where they can change people's main events and stuff like that because these guys are under contract. There's a lot of shows that was supposed to be featured with a lot of stuff that Tony said, nah, we're not going to do that because they wanted to save it for their product and stuff like that. And that's what they should have did for them. That's what they should have did for FTR. You know, there's not a lot of teams that I see on the AEW roster that is better than FTR. Straight up. If you have any, let me know. Leave a comment. We can talk about it. I just wanted to talk about that. You know, those guys are solid tag team. These guys, to me, are timeless. I can see them wrestling in the 80s, the 90s. Now, I can see them wrestling in the future. That's just how great they were as wrestlers and workers. And I've always said that we have more wrestlers than workers. To sell something, to work a body part, to do certain things, to engage the crowd and stuff like that. And then that's the thing too. Everybody talks about AEW does what the crowd wants them to. Crowd goes on fire for FTR. But they know what's going to happen. They wind up booing at the end. Nasty work. But let me know. Tell me what you guys think about it. Am I bugging? Am I right? Do you agree? Do you sort of disagree? What up? Let me know. This is Chris Classic, and let's take it home.